How's your Sunday going? Well, we've been busy. We have been busy. Does that actually work? Nope. We're getting we're trying to get work done. Not just around the house, but he gets, oh, excuse me. I gotta throw some things up here. My desk is such a mess. I'll tell you, my whole house is a mess right now. I have to find somebody who has trouble sleeping and give these away because they don't work for me. Okay, now. There we go. I'm trying to get this so that it doesn't directly come off my glasses. And I could put it behind the phone, but it leaves the center of my face dark. So it's like, we got to stretch it right up over here and turn it a little bit so it doesn't like shine directly on my glasses. So right now, Howie is resting on the couch with his dog. And, ooh, careful, Beth, get a fan. And we got rid of our TV programming, and it seems to be not a problem. Doesn't seem to be any problem whatsoever. We still have programming that comes with our television. We just got rid of all the extra programming. I got rid of, have I told you guys this or not? I phoned Bell Canada and I still have to phone them because we're being charged for one box that doesn't work. I phoned Bell Canada because I realized they don't come to you and say, your contract is up. Would you like to make some changes? They just, So the newest thing that's been going on is I've been paying for 500 megabytes of speed. I think it's 500 megabytes, right? It's half a gig of speed and it's been doing grand. Although I have had a few slow days. There's, it's the internet, right? We watch YouTube, we record, we live stream, we do everything with our internet now. Excuse me. So I talked to Bell because I wanted to get rid of our TV and I wanted to get rid of what they called a landline, which is not a landline. When I told them I wanted the package, I wanted a landline. And when the guys came to install everything, he installed a phone that I said, where's the box for me to plug in my phone? He said, you plug it into the modem. I said, oh, no, that's not what I asked for. I wanted a landline. He said, we don't install those anymore. This is the new landline, so to speak, right? Have I told you guys this? So I phoned, well, I've been paying $390 to $425 a month for Bell Canada. Now here's why. I had a phone. I have two mobile phones, mine and Howie's. We have the television, and we had 500 megabytes speed per second of internet, unlimited. Our phones are unlimited. The only thing Howie doesn't have is American calling on his phone. Okay? We have all this stuff. And then I said to Howie the other night, why are we paying for hang on a second. No, I didn't do that. No, I didn't. Hang on a second, folks. Okay. Anyway, What was I saying? Right, Bell Canada. So yeah, as you can tell, I have had lorazepam. I've taken my lorazepam a couple of nights in a row. And hi, I am Katrina Babe. I will give you a reading in a moment. You're first, okay, Katrina? I've got a smudge and I'm going to finish telling you what I'm going to tell you. And then you get a card, okay? You get a reading. So where was I going? Where was I? Right, Bell Canada. So I phoned them, and I told you guys this. I ended up talking to the lady for like for almost 2 hours, hour and a half, and I got rid of the fake landline. I got rid of our TV programming, and I went from 500 megabytes a second up to a gig, and I'm paying $100 less a month. Right? So that's that. Okay. I'm going to smudge, and then Katrina Babe is getting a reading. Okay, let me just smudge first. I really would rather okay. Excuse me. All righty. Here we go. Smoke the sacred white sage. Please cleanse the chaff of negativity. Keep out trolls. Cleanse these cards. Clearing. All right, Katrina Babe. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Pick your card. No, I don't. And everyone says it's got to be white sage, which is the traditional wild white sage. Okay. But sage is sage. If Native American people, sage is sage. I have dried and made my own smudge stick, but I keep getting these sent to me from people like Rebecca and stuff. You send me. Number 2, you picked the energy oracle cards. Katrina. This is for Katrina Babe. Whoa, wow. Oh, you got 2 cards. You got cornucopia and rest and rejuvenate. What I'm hearing here, Katrina, is that you've put a lot of work in this year. I'm going to switch these hands so you can see it this way. You've put in a lot of work this year, and not just in your pantry, not just in your garden. I'm talking about you've done a lot of mental and emotional and spiritual, I don't want to say soul searching. It's not the same. You've done a lot of mental, emotional, and spiritual work on you, and it's now showing fruit. Okay? Whatever it is you've been working on and focusing on, it's now bearing fruit, and it's time for you to rest, rejuvenate, and plan your next step, because you're going to want to repeat whatever it is you've been doing to bring this about. And the more you do this, the more you can rest and rejuvenate. I hope that makes sense, because I've never had 2 cards come so clean across as that. I hope that makes sense. I'm going to pop out the chat here. Okie dokie. And if that didn't make sense, Kat, you say so. I will do it again. Because those 2 cards were stuck together, but I think they were stuck together because they had a message for you. Hey, Wanda Weichel. Okay, everybody say hi. I'm going to go behind the fan. Everybody say hi. And then we'll I will do my shout out and say hi to everybody, and then we will continue on with our visit. It is a slow process, but that's what it's telling you. It's telling you it's going to bear fruit. It is bearing fruit. And while you rest and rejuvenate from all this hard work, concentrate on the steps you did right to get to that point. Do you understand? I hope that makes sense. And when everybody stops saying hi, I will do my shout out. There's some videos coming up. How we built my oven box for the wood stove. For those who don't like live streams, I took my fixing the wall and sanding and painting the wall, and then it being finished, and I reduced it down into one video so you guys could see from start to finish how I did the dining room wall. And you're just going to be baking. You're just not going to get the videos this week because, well, you might, because I have some older videos that I have downloaded, revamped, deleted from YouTube, and then re-uploaded. And someone said, oh, some of us in the know. No, these are reruns. And I said, what was your first clue? The throwback in the title? The word's throwback in the title? All right, let's, I'm going to go behind my fan one more time, and then I'm going to pop out. I'm going to pop out that list. I will be piecing fabric probably later this week. So let's pop out. Excuse me. The participants list and say hello. Aloha Seashell, Katrina Babe, Cat Katajbra, or Catabro, Gypsy Mama Prepper. Hey, James Lawson. We be jamming with Just Mom, Karen Bella, or Cal Storm, Lena K. Hang in there, Lena K. We're lifting you up in prayer, honey. Linda Betty Boo Bop, Rara, Renita Madrid Ole, Sebastian Branscombe. Wow, there's a very old world name. Sherry Leach, Sybil T, Tara J, Tinker Bouncin', Wanda Weichel, and Yellow Bird up high in banana tree. Okay, we're back on live chat. So, yeah, I got the dining room wall finished. Now I've got to clean up the dining room and reorganize it. I'm going to get Howie to bring up my cage. Yeah, I'm going to get Howie to bring up my cage for my, I wasn't going to put my cage up, but I'm doing a double table this year. So I want to be able to hang lights as well as just have them clamped. You know what I mean? Hey, Missy Royer, how are you, darling? Hi, Kel Storm. Oh, I just about sucked a tea bag into my mouth there. Get down to the bottom like a good tea bag you should be. Jumpins. Hey, Charlie. Makiki in the house. The 808 is showing up and showing out. I don't understand what that means. I really don't understand what that means. Hey, Danny love, my Danny love, I need you. Oh, how I need your love. I can't help it, guys. I burst into song like a demented canary, and I do it. I don't just do it on live. I do it walking down the friggin' street. So, um, yeah, so we've got quite a bit accomplished. I did my dining room wall. It only took me 3, 4 days. Been 4 days. But then, I'm not as young or as physically fit as I used to be, so these things take me longer. Howie built my oven box for my wood stove, and it gets nice and hot. There's a video on him making it. That's tomorrow. And he's getting better with his camera work. Also, I'll be cooking on it this weekend because it's nice and cold. It's January. So maybe tomorrow I'll start off by trying a loaf of bread in the Dutch oven. I'm doing okay. I have to start being an adult and take care of all the business side of things for when the certificate comes in the mail. Well, one step at a time, sweetheart. Okay? Don't let yourself get overwhelmed by thinking of all the things that you have to do. Pick the first most important thing and then forget about everything else until you've done that one thing, and then move on to the next. Or you're just going to end up in a puddle in the corner of a room somewhere, overwhelmed. So, if there's anything we can do to, love and support you, Lena, just let us know. Okay. Hey, Happy Jack. How's it going? How's Sybil V. Lori today? How's it going? Well, I mean, you know what? There's being an adult also, Lena K. There's being an adult. And there's also allowing yourself to feel. Right? Oh, I'm glad to hear it, sweetheart. I'm glad to hear it. I'm on my phone. There isn't a target on my screen, but it's okay. I'm just happy to be amongst family. That is not too bold a statement. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's good to have you here. So, I'll be right back. I have to go check. I have to go put noodles on. Oh, we're having mac and cheese for supper. Oh. Dad had the choice between chicken and rice and mac and cheese it is. Hey, maybe I'll make chicken and rice on the wood stove tomorrow, dear. Matters for me. Okay, noodles are on. What's under here? Jeez, that's a seam ripper. What's it doing there? So, yes, I am still, I'm still doing some revamping some old videos and adding them. And what I'm doing is I'm just putting them up. I'm just uploading them. And as I make new videos, I will bump the revamped ones down the line. And that way, most people right now are getting a video a day. But not making me so that I have to do a video a day because I'm just not up to it. And so it won't be long now because it's almost February. It won't be long now before I'll be setting up the light cage, bringing in the extra table, setting up the light cage around the dining room table, and starting to get ready for seed starting. But that will get all set up first. I don't have to do all the lights first, but I get everything set up so that I know where I can put things when they're coming. Like I always start some things earlier than others, like onions and leeks and celery and stuff like that, because they take longer to germinate. But I'm not doing onions this year. I'm only doing leeks. I'm doing leeks. This is it this year. Okay, because I wanted to revamp my garden beds. I don't think we're going to be able to afford to do that this year. So, but I know what I'm planting because after years of trial and error with onions and I like leeks. Didn't do well last year. They should do well this year. But I cannot grow garlic to save my life. I cannot grow garlic to save my life. And onions are catch as catch can. So I'm going to plant some green onions in flower boxes and containers. I'm going to grow zucchini, tomatoes, beans, pickling cucumbers. Hang on. Sorry, I had to turn that off. What the heck? Go away. Now I got this stupid... Oh, for God's sakes. Now I'm going to have to watch my chat. I'm going to have to unpop it out. Because I now can't see the chat, or I can't see myself because something happened here. What is going on? Why are there pictures and stuff? Why is my Facebook on here? Why is my Facebook coming up? What the hell? Well, I guess I can't see because I have a Facebook post in the middle of my screen, so I can't see what I'm doing here. So, hey Kimmy, hey Kimmy. So anyway, yeah, this is I zucchini, tomatoes, celery, beans, leeks, pickling cucumbers, and dill probably. That's pretty much what I'm going to plant this year. And here's hoping. Oh, wait a second. Let me try this. Still there. What the hell? What is that? Oh, I closed it. Yay! Beans have to be planted away from garlic. Now, why is that? Because I've never heard that one before. But I'm not planting garlic. I'm not planting garlic. I'm only going to plant leeks. I'm only going to plant leeks this year, 2 beds of leeks. And I'm going to try it with my egg carton method. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, well, you'll see it this year. Because I want to put a weed barrier down, but planting these little thin hair-like leeks, trying to plant them through a weed barrier is not going to work. But here's what I got planned. I've saved up all my egg carton flats, and I'm going to cut the dishes. Okay, you know how where the egg goes into the little dish? I'm going to cut the dishes off so that they're holes. And I'm going to push them down into the garden bed and just plant a leek in each hole. And hopefully the rest of the carton, it's not bleached. So A, it will break down. It's a weed barrier. B, it'll catch and hold moisture, right? And C, I guess there is no C. Oh, C, it'll break down and compost for next year, right? Do you like winter squash, Bev? I found some small ones called honey nut that are really good. I don't grow winter squash because I got lots of pumpkin. Yeah, I got a big Howie of pumpkin pie. Maybe tomorrow. Um, I I don't grow winter squash for the simple reason is I don't have land enough to grow. I can grow winter squash and zucchini. I can put the zucchini in the front, the winter squash in the back, but I won't be able to save any seeds, right? And I want to start saving more seeds, right? Because our soil is under the weather. You think about that carefully. Our soil is under the weather. Okay. Hey, Matt, how's it going? Has anyone tried snipping leeks at the base and seeing if they'll regrow like green onions? I don't I don't know, but I mean, I've done that with green onions and I didn't like the result. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grow green onions in flower boxes just for salads and for Howie. He loves green onions. So, hey, Grampy Campy, how's it going? So yeah, I'm keeping it real simple. But I'm planting, I may plant parsnips, I may plant beets. We have to eat some parsnips to see, some of the canned parsnips I canned last year. I only got a couple of jars, but I want to heat them up and whip them with some butter and see if Howie likes them. If so, I'll plant them this year and I'll start canning. So, yeah. So I'm keeping it real simple. I'm keeping it really simple. I can buy, God willing, I can buy carrots, and I have a lot of carrots. I still have carrots from the year before. And then I have dehydrated carrots from this year, right? But I want to grow some cabbages too. Last year or this past year, they didn't do well, and I pulled them out and replanted the beds with beans. So this year it seems that when you have a bad year with one crop, it usually grows better the next year. Okay, this is something I've learned. Like leeks did not do well last year, onions did not do well last year, and garlic did not do well last year. Bet you they'll do good this year. But I'm only planting leeks. Okay, leeks, if they do well, is something that I can wash, slice, dehydrate, and they go in everything, right? And they go really far too. I tried dehydrated pumpkin crisps last season. May do that again. I used to buy horse carrots, 10-kilogram bags. Took hours to process, but was really cheap. That's what I get. I get 50-pound bags of what they call them deer carrots. They call them deer carrots. And so, yeah. This year, they had beets as well as carrots and apples. So I don't know if I'm going to plant beets. If I do, I don't think so. I don't think I'm going to plant beets, because if they have them at the deer carrot station again this year, I'll buy a bag and I'll can a bunch of beets. Right? If they don't have them, it's neither here nor there, right? Oh, Sherry. Yeah, you asked if that 100-year-old family-run hardware store was still in business. No, it is not. It went by the way of COVID. Now, they say they retired. But I just don't think it could withstand the transition of 2019 to 2025. It closed like 3 years in. Our local Pineview restaurant burned down. And during that 4 or 5 year span, they tore down another restaurant. The Barbie Junior got tore down, and they put in this big, ugly information center that has toilets and vending machines and stuff. And it's like, we're in the middle of nowhere. Why would you want an information station? Why wouldn't you have something more appropriate, like a friggin' grocery store? We are 15 miles from the nearest grocery store, right? It is sad. It is sad. So the Barbie Junior got tore down and turned into an information center was built. Then the Pineview restaurant, which we stopped going to because the prices were really, really high. And also they started closing at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's like, no, when we go out, we want to go out for dinner. That restaurant burnt down. Sue Ellen's, where we used to go all the time for ice cream and like, sometimes dinner, right? They sold. And now it's like a shawarma place, a small shawarma kind of place. So it's like nothing. We have nothing here. We have a gas station. Now, on the good news, the store where Breyer used to work in Brennan's Hill has been sold. And the gentleman who bought it lives above it. And he's putting in those hot dog machines and all kinds of little like self-serving food stations. And he's really he's putting a lot of work into it. So I think I just think it's really cool. But I'm so excited and I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control and I think I like it. I think I got all those words mixed up. So yeah. I can pop my chat out now, can't I? And put it on live chat. So, a lot of new stuff coming up while we have the cold weather. And whenever the wood stove is working hot, I'm going to be cooking a meal on it or a dessert or something. Okay? Yes, that's true, Grampy Campy. And I honestly think if you want to ask my opinion on Trump and Canada, he's just waiting for a real leader to come in. He's just saying he may be kicking butt. He is kicking butt and taking names, but when it comes to Canada, he's just throwing everything at us until a proper leader steps forward and goes, "Wait a second now, let's talk." Right? And I'm sorry, don't get me started on the Liberal Party. Everybody's clamoring. There's like 7 people that are going to run for the leader to be the leader of the Liberal Party. Who would want it? I wouldn't take it with coupons. Who wants to inherit that mess? And you're going to hear all kinds of things like, oh no, we're going to set aside the carbon tax. Now listen to the language. Okay? Because what they're going to say is, oh, we're going to set aside the carbon tax, and that's going to be their campaign. And what's going to happen is if one of them, if they actually get in, they're going to reinstate it because they're in. It's I wouldn't take the word of a liberal with coupons here in Canada. Be careful, Bev, and Joe Mama's voice. Hey, Kay's Corner, how are you, darling? April, hi. So I honestly think he's just waiting. He's just waiting for Canada to get its shit together with a proper prime minister. He's throwing punches and saying, okay, who's gonna punch back? Who's gonna put up their dukes? And the first time a real leader steps into the place in Canada and puts up his dukes, and I'm talking figuratively, not physically. As soon as a proper leader steps forward in Canada and says, okay, Trump, put up your dukes, they're going to sit down and have a coffee. And that's when Trump's going to say, okay, now I have somebody I can talk to. That's pretty much what he's doing. He's just throwing shit out left, right, and center about Canada, watching who's crapping themselves. Doesn't that make sense? Is breadfruit coconut? Not that I'm aware of. Minnesota needs to get rid of. I don't know who that Tim is. Exactly, Jack. because the MPs, everybody who's running, has supported Trudeau in his total destruction of our country. Okay? We're a joke on the world stage thanks to Trudeau. Right? Nobody takes this country seriously. And people may be going, oh, Trump's going to be bad for Canada. I don't believe it. I don't believe it for a minute. I think he's just waiting for someone of his caliber to step, and I don't mean financially, but somebody of his nationalist caliber, somebody who's willing to put Canada first, and then Trump knows who he's dealing with, and that's when the talks and negotiations can begin. But he's just shouting and throwing stuff at the wall to watch the Liberal Party scramble. It's really quite, I don't believe for a minute that Trump is going to be bad for Canada. I think he's going to, well, I hesitate to say big brother. He jokes about us being the 51st state and all that stuff. No, he doesn't want that. He really doesn't. It's, but even if North America became its own country, not the United States, not Canada, not a continent, North America, as a country, would that be such a bad thing? Except for their healthcare system. The healthcare system in the States sucks crap. $1,000 for a bag of saline. No, thank you. Natasha Kemp, hi, how are you? Kamala's, oh, okay. Yeah, absolutely, Phoebe, absolutely. So that's where we are. Okay? Everybody, I honestly don't understand why. I honestly think the Liberal Party should be completely scrapped. If they really want a chance at leading this country, they need to scrap all their policies, scrap the name Liberal Party, and rebrand it. And they can't rebrand it with Chrystia Freeland or Carbon Tax Carney. It won't work. Now, if someone like Danielle Smith from Alberta decided to run, Howie, if Danielle Smith ran for Prime Minister, would you vote for her? Yes, absolutely. Right? But these are crazy times, and this next year is going to decide whether Howie and I stay or go in this province. If shit hits the fan, because Quebec is not. It's a great province to live in if you can speak French. But it's a great, because they're very pro Quebec. But the problem is you just never know when they're going to pull the old separation ticket out of their friggin' pocket. You know what I mean? So if we decided that if we ever had to move, it would be somewhere like Alberta. Because Alberta's the Texas of Canada. That's it, Howie! Alberta's the Texas of Canada. Alberta is the Texas of Canada. There, you heard it here first. Alberta is Canada's Texas. Hey, Charles. How's it going? I should check my noodles, thank you. Oh, my knees. Oh. I like it. Texas of Canada. Hey, Howie. When this timer goes off, will you drain these noodles and call me? you turn the light on when you get up, the light in the window. They're almost ready. And then I'm just going to drain them, or Howie is. And I'm going to put in my last little bit of brick of cream cheese and some milk and some butter. And grate in some Monterey Jack. And then stir it all together and let the lid, and turn it off and put the lid on it and let it all melt together. Yeah, we don't do box mac and cheese. When we want mac and cheese, we want mac and cheese. I'm still listening to the chat. I'm watching figure skating with the sound off. How these young men can do these things on skates is amazing. Yeah, true, eh? Finally, someone is doing something in North Carolina and surrounding areas. Devastating. Yeah. Things are going to be very chaotic for a few months. For this year, things are going to be really chaotic. But it's not the chaos of 2024. It's the chaos of 2025. 2024 was the final destruction of the lies. 2025 is we watch the rebuilding of truth. Right? Did you know Puff Diddy's in jail? I didn't know they arrested him. This is how much I watch TV. I had no idea. How do you make creamy mac and cheese? Hi, Renita. How do I make creamy mac and cheese? Well, sometimes I make baked mac and cheese with broccoli and onions and bacon on top. But when I just make creamy mac and cheese, I just boil noodles, whatever noodles you want. And then I strain them and I put them back in the pot with a knob of butter, some milk or half and half cream, but I use 2% milk, a knob of butter, some 2% milk, salt, pepper, and a chunk of cream cheese and some grated Monterey Jack. Put the lid on it and let it all kind of, keep it on low. Put the lid back on it, put it on low, stir it all in, put it on low, and let it sit so that everything melts. And then you salt and pepper that, some garlic powder and some Parmesan. Oh. Craft dinner. Eat your heart out. Condensed, you mean evaporated milk? Because condensed milk is usually sweetened, isn't it? Oh, well, they're even, how many people think Diddy went to an Epstein party and went, this is a setup I can do? How many people? Raise your hand if you think Diddy got his idea from Epstein, and Diddy may suffer the same fate. Who knows? He may, kill himself in jail. So I use heavy cream and 3 or 4 different cheeses. Well, if I used heavy cream, people would be, tying me to tar and feathering me and light me on fire and rolling me down a friggin' hill. Because, I'm killing my husband. Right? So, hey, Annette. Mac and cheese now. Yeah. A little bit of paprika and some garlic. Oh. Good stuff. I think he did a live getting arrested. Really? Nuts. Oh, we would have to call your mac and cheese Bev dinner. Actually, we'll just call it, I don't know. Not craft dinner. Mrs. V dinner. I think I'm too funny. Don't forget a tiny little bit of nutmeg. No, I don't do nutmeg. I don't do nutmeg. I don't put it in my bechamel sauce. I don't do nutmeg. I don't like it. The only time you will ever see me do nutmeg is when I'm doing festive cooking. And I mean, when I say a pinch, it's like that. It's not even a 1-finger pinch. It's the tips of the fingers pinch. Last time, 5 varieties plus tag Tagasky sauce. Tabasco sauce. Yeah. No, people, you know what drove me nuts about the bakery? Is they put nutmeg in the bechamel sauce, and when they made apple pies, they used no cinnamon, only nutmeg. Well, everyone puts cinnamon in their pies. Well, I had someone bring a pie back and go, it doesn't even taste like an apple pie. And so I took a fork and I went, where's the cinnamon? And he went, right? So I had to refund him his money because it wasn't a proper apple pie. See, some people can do nutmeg. I just can't. It just makes me sick, right? I mean, if I'm making eggnog, I will put a tiny little flecking of nutmeg on the top. That is acceptable. That's the only time I really like nutmeg, right? I don't usually even put it in pies. So let's North Carolina, let's see if help comes after the BS talk. Those are poor. He doesn't care about the poor. Indians were only real Americans. Everyone else landed in U.S. and wasn't. You know what, Martha? Hey, Nicole. Yeah, broccoli. Yeah. Oh, I haven't made a bacon and egg pie in a long. I've got ham. Oh, I've got to make a bacon and egg pie. I'm gonna redo that video. That's one I got to do right now. Bacon and egg pie. I don't necessarily believe that, Martha, because I don't know who you're talking about, but even the native indigenous people of North America are not from North America. Everybody, if you go back far enough, comes from Africa. That's where civilization started. It is the cradle of humanity. So guess what? We're all immigrants. But I watched this one woman on Oprah, and I didn't watch the Oprah show because I don't like that woman. I don't trust that woman. But anyway, there was a clip, like a TikTok clip or something, and there was this one woman who had, obviously, she had black blood in her. But she said to Oprah, she said, I don't consider myself African American. She said, I can't find where my African blood comes from, but there's a lot more blood in me than just that. She says, I'm not an African American. I'm a Louisiana American. And Oprah went, oh, girl, don't you be saying there's no, that you're not African American. You're just going to blow up TikTok kind of thing, right? But that's true, right? I can go back and say I'm Viking. But eventually you go all the way back. They come over land bridges and all kinds of things spreading across the world. I get confused on the religion thing because you go back way farther than the supposed creation of us by God. Well, that's just people's opinions, isn't it? You think about this. You go back far enough in time, okay? Let's go back to Moses, okay? When Moses went up on Mount Sinai for like 40 days or whatever it was, when he came down and taught that these weren't actually commandments, okay? These were... They were suggestions. They were guidelines. Okay? And the whole God's voice coming out of a burning bush. Guys, he was dealing with the celestial realm of a higher intelligence. Okay? Now, before anybody gives me crap for saying God's an alien, no, God created everything, including the aliens. Okay? God created everything. People have this tendency to think that God just created the heavens and the earth. And because when you go back that far, how would Moses actually describe what happened to him on Mount Sinai? He had to to phrase it in such a way that it made sense to him and it made sense to the people he was taking it back to. I bet you in that 40 days he had a nervous breakdown somewhere in there. You know what I mean? So the Bible was inspired man written, human written. It's a human written book inspired by God. People who were inspired by God. The New Testament is everybody else's version of what Christ did and how he, and how he functioned between the age of 12 and 33. Right? So you've got to realize you're dealing with ancient people. Right? And you look at the Greek, the drawings and the writings in the Egyptians. Those tombs weren't designed as tombs. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure there's something buried way beneath those. But the truth is, those weren't made by man. It's a physical impossibility. So, but there's also the fact that people don't realize. Okay, when they say God made the heavens and the earth, we have a tendency to think that earth is the end all be all, and that the heavens is where God lives. Okay, think about it this way. God created the multiverse and earth. Earth is a part of the multiverse, right? Have-A-Cream is just milk and butter, and they whip it when you buy it in the store. It has gel and gum and to keep it stabilized and thick. Ooh. Ooh. In my Father's house, there are many mansions. So, I guess we're just having a conversation. I'm not, I'm sure afterwards I'm going to get comment after comment after comment in the comment section after this video closes about how wrong I am and how I need to study the Bible. It's a book written by ancient people. Yes, the New Testament is supposed to be like eyewitness testimony, right? The Old Testament is supposed to be eyewitness testimony or inspired writings, but the truth is, I could tell you all the things. I could give you a 100% correct accounting on exactly how everything began, and there would be and I could prove it. I could give you proof, and there would be an argument, because that's who we are. We are a planet of individuals, and the biggest disasters happen when they try and pigeonhole too many people into one pigeonhole. Right? There's not enough. Everybody gets their own pigeonhole, guys. Why? Because nobody's the same, not even identical twins. Right? So perception. Hey, Frida. Hey, Michelle. So I forget what I was saying. So my point is Bible was written by man to the best of their ability to describe what happened. The New Testament, Christianity, didn't start until 250 years after Christ was gone and had ascended. Okay? Died, was buried, rose again, and ascended into heaven. Okay? That church didn't start until 250 years after he died. And it was based on the writings of Peter. Peter built the church on the rock. Peter was the first Catholic priest, believe it or not. And believe it or not, everybody reset target. What does that mean? No, because, well, here we go. Hang on. Oh, what did I just do? Oh, God, it was just the chat I closed. So my point is everybody has the right to share their beliefs, their faith, their inspiration about what they think about the beginning or the end or the massiveness of it all. Okay? I'll never, but the truth is there is as many opinions and faiths and beliefs, whether good or bad, as there are people. And that's because God gave us the right to choose. Right? So that's why there's so many religions in the world. Because people break off. It's like well, I don't want, I don't want to go to AA. I'm an addict. Well, okay, let's start NA. Well, I don't want to go to NA or AA. I'm an overeater. Well, let's go to OA. You know what I mean? There's breakaways for everything because and the thing is you can't shove 100 people into a church, even though they're all there willingly and believe basically the same thing. They're still all individuals. So it's not going to work for everybody. Now, I'll tell you one thing. I've never gone into a church that I didn't come out, any church, that I didn't come out after I sat and kept an open mind, that I came out with something that I could use in my life to better it. All right? I always learned something useful when I went to church, and I thank God for that. But does that mean I belong to that church? Absolutely not. I don't subscribe to organized religion because I think you're limiting yourself. I think if you subscribe to an organized, this is me personally, not you, but if I were to subscribe to an organized religion, like I did when I was 26, I became a confirmed Catholic. I was baptized when at birth, but I mean, I became a confirmed Catholic. And then I outgrew it. The box got too small. Do you understand? But it doesn't mean I didn't learn an awful lot from that. Okay? But all religions are there for somebody. They're there for somebody. Not everybody is at the same level of faith and belief as each other. That's why there are so many factions of the Christian church. Right? Like, not all Muslims are people who, not all Muslims are radicals. The Muslim faith is based on peace, right? But there's radicals in everything and every religion out there, right? So when I say I don't subscribe to any one religion, it's because I find that they're too limiting. Because I would go all the way there and go, yeah, but what about this? And when they didn't have an answer, I'd go searching elsewhere, right? Have gone up to $5 now. Oh my God. Tigger, I bought a half gallon of. Anyway, listen, folks, I got to head out because my noodles are done and it's time to butter them and garlic them and cream cheese them and Monterey Jack them and have dinner with my hubby and watch TV. I love you guys. Take care. God bless. Look at, now remember, everything is open for conversation, but not judgment. When you can have a conversation, a civil conversation, without judgment, then you're an adult, right? So, anybody wants to be negative in the comments, well, you know how far that's going to go. It's just going to go nowhere, right? Because everybody has a right to their own feelings, their own thoughts, their own faith. And they don't have to, and so long as they don't shove it down your throat, what are you worried about? I've had so many people attack me over my thoughts on faith. And it drives me crazy. It's like, why are you getting angry at me? Why are you so angry? If your faith, your religion works for you, why are you angry that I'm not following it? Because I'm not you. This is Mrs. Wolfe from Our Half Acre Homestead saying, enjoy tomorrow's video, how he built me an oven top. I'm going to be cooking on it a lot, so look forward to those videos. But I'm also doing throwback videos, okay? So catch as catch can. I love you guys. Take care. God bless. And remember, there are only two things, two emotions, love and fear. Okay? All negative things come from fear. And all positive things come from love. Take care. God bless. And remember, you're loved. By me.